Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. Thanks for being here. I'm Scott Josephson. I am a PhD student at Capital Technology University, and I am presenting joint work with Dr. Atif Farid Mohammed from the same location. Our talk is titled Large Language Models Using Retrieval, Augmented Generation, and Prompt Engineering for AI-Driven Music Source Separation, a literature review. Today, I'll quickly motivate music source separation, summarize traditional and modern approaches, then explain where LLMs, prompt engineering, and RAG fit, and why this combo is promising for the field. We'll close with gaps and directions for future work. What is music source separation? In short, it's the task of extracting vocals or instruments from a mixed audio signal useful for remixing, restoration, transcription, and analysis. Traditional solutions often require significant signal processing or retrained machine learning models, which can be computationally expensive and inflexible. Recent advances in LLMs, think GPT-class models, suggest we may address some of these pain points without retraining. The literature review explores how prompt engineering and retrieval augmented generation, RAG, can be combined with LLMs to guide separation tasks. The idea is to leverage LLMs' language understanding while retrieving structured musical knowledge, like lyrics, scores, instrument profiles, or audio embeddings, to improve separation. Historically, source separation leaned on signal processing like independent component analysis, ICA, and non-negative matrix factorization, NMF. ICA assumes statistical independence among sources. It works in some settings, but breaks down with complex music where independence doesn't hold. NMF factorizes magnitude spectrograms into bases and activations, well suited to non-negative audio magnitudes, but struggles when harmonics overlap or the number of sources is unknown. Other classical tools such as sparse component analysis, SCA, effective when signals are sparse in time frequency, and beam forming with microphone arrays, which relies on spatial filtering, but can degrade in reverberant rooms or when array geometry isn't ideal. These approaches all face limits in complex auditory scenes. Deep learning brought CNNs, RNNs, LSTMs, and UNets adapted from image segmentation. They can learn rich time frequency patterns and perform well, but they're hungry for labeled data. The MUS-DB18 multi-track dataset is widely used, yet limited in size and diversity, so models risk overfitting and poor generation. We've also seen Wave UNet operating directly on raw waveforms. GAN-based methods, examples CGAN and DenseNet with adversarial training, and deep clustering. Each contributes, but can introduce training instability, compute intensity, or data requirements. Recently, transformers entered the scene. SEPformer models, long-range dependencies with self-attention, segmenting audio into chunks and modeling both intra and inter-chunk relations. Principles that transfer well from speech to music. We also see Sonido, a generative multi-level transformer foundation model for music tasks, including tagging, transcription, mixing, and separation, using strategies like token out augmentation. Parallel to that, hybrid demux blends time domain and frequency domain processing for state-of-the-art quality on benchmarks like MUSDB18 and self-supervised approaches like Remixit leverage unlabeled data to reduce reliance on ground truth stems. There is also growing work on multimodal cues. Example would be incorporating video signals to inform audio separation. Despite these gains, classical machine learning pipelines face three persistent issues. One, data requirements. Isolated stems are scarce and often license restricted, hindering generalization across genres and recording conditions. Two, computational complexity. Training and deployment demand heavy hardware and long cycles, which can be impractical for many users. And three, limited flexibility. Models tuned on one data set or domain often need retraining or fine-tuning to transfer to new contexts. These constraints motivate exploring alternatives that are more data light, compute efficient, and adaptable. LLMs demonstrate strong language understanding and generation, and are pre-trained on vast corpora using transformer architectures. While natively text-centric, LLMs increasingly operate in multimodal settings, bridging text with images or audio, because they can't reason over descriptions and structure across modalities. That success in image-related tasks motivates their application to audio domains. In our context, the question is, can we use an LLM's semantic prior and reasoning ability to assist music source separation without retraining large audio models each time? That's where prompting and retrieval enter. Prompt engineering is about crafting inputs that guide an LLM toward desired behavior, leveraging learned knowledge without modifying model weights. In natural language processing, careful prompts improve QA, translation, and summarization. We carry that idea into audio workflows. For source separation, prompts can be explicit about targets and tasks. Examples include, analyze this mixed audio and separate vocals, guitar, bass, and drums, or isolate vocals and provide a lyric transcript, or separate piano and violin from this piece. These illustrate how textual intent can steer downstream processing. RAG augments an LLM by letting it retrieve external knowledge at generation time, crucial when tasks require domain-specific or up-to-date information. In NLP, RAG has improved open domain QA and fact-checking by fetching relevant passages and conditioning the model's response on them. Translating that to music separation, we can retrieve audio embeddings, which is index audio with pre-trained models in a vector store, so the system can pull similar patterns during separation. Lyrics and scores, a line or notation with the audio to help identify where vocals or specific instruments occur. Instrument profiles, characteristic timbre texture cues that help disambiguate sources in a mix. A worked example: when prompted to separate the electric guitar, the system 1. Formulates queries of relevant guitar profiles or examples, 2. Retrieves embeddings or reference tracks, and 3. Uses those to guide the separation algorithm's focus on the guitar component. The retrieval guided approach gives us context-aware separation, fusing language intent with structured musical evidence. When we combine LLMs, effective prompts, and RAG, we can often avoid training or retraining a large separation model from scratch. That can cut cost and time while improving flexibility across genres and recording conditions by pulling the right references for each piece of audio. There are caveats. Performance depends on the availability and quality of external data. There are intellectual property licensing considerations when retrieving and using music-related assets, and we must acknowledge that LLMs aren't inherently audio models. The bridge from text prompts to signal-level operations must be designed carefully. What's missing today? Research directly applying LLMs to music source separation via prompting and RAG is still limited. There's substantial multimodal momentum in related work, example music generation, but source separation with LLMs is an open opportunity. The takeaway is that traditional methods and modern deep models have advanced the state of the art, yet face data, compute, and adaptability barriers. LLMs, coupled with prompting and retrieval, offer a promise alternative path, more accessible, efficient, and context-aware separation pipelines. Our review argues this direction can meaningfully impact both academic research and practical music technology. Thanks for your time. We are happy to take questions via email, and our emails are listed here on the final slide. Thank you very much.